Hello beautiful people and welcome back to a new video. My name is Evelin Barta. I hope that everyone is doing well, and in today's video I want to discuss some predictions, talk about some predictions for the year 2023, because I tuned into the energies of next year and then I received some downloads as well. So yes, I want to discuss those things. What can we expect next year, like an overall forecast. And I also want to talk about a particular transit, like astrological transit, planetary transit that is happening next year, which is Pluto moving into Aquarius, which is bringing great changes in our society. I want to talk about humanity, where we are standing energetically right now, what we can expect for next year energetically as well. And then also what the year 2023 means numerologically. Also, before I get into these predictions, I wanted to say that nothing is really set in stone, so the energies can shift anytime. And what I can do is only checking the energies that are most possible, so the most probable outcome and timeline that we can get on based on the current energies. But these energies can shift anytime, and then there are many probabilities and many factors and that are influencing the turning of the events and then the outcome of certain things. So 2023, it's a very interesting year, and it's going to be an interesting year because it is being represented by number 7, and 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 3 is 7. So this is how we are getting the number 7. And number 7 is a very spiritual number. The number 7 is generally associated with the search for a deeper meaning of life, with spiritual enlightenment, spiritual development, intuition as well. And it can leave you with more questions than answers. So that is very typical for number 7. So we can expect some real introspection next year when we are searching for many things. We are searching for answers. So expect yourself questioning many things about yourself, because this is really like a spiritual development more than learning about the matrix and learning about the external world. So by learning about yourself internally, you will learn about your external world as well. But primarily number 7 is wanting you to discover yourself on a deeper level and the meaning of you being here where you are. And if we think about how number 7 is appearing in our lives on a larger scale as well, we will see that is appearing as a mystical number, representing our embodiment, the embodiment of the spirit as well, because we have 7 chakras. 7-year cycles are very significant in one's life. For example, now number 7 is very important for me because I'm repeating certain things that happened with me 7 years ago in a different package, and I can deal with those things differently. So I'm having a possibility to heal whatever happened with me 7 years ago. So 7 is a mystical, spiritual number. We have 7 chakras. There are 7 colors of the rainbow. There are 7 oceans. There are 7 continents. 7 is also appearing in ancient spiritual teachings. It is the number of personal and then collective progress, collective development. It is the number of elevation, the elevation of the consciousness, the elevation of human beings. So we can expect 2023 to be the year of makeovers and upgrades on all levels of our lives. So we can make huge progresses and huge quantum jumps, we can say, in areas where we wanted to progress. So I'm very optimistic about 2023 because it really carries those energies when everything is possible. And then spiritually is possible as well. It carries the energies of the heart. So we might see in the collective more heart-based frequencies, more mercy, more forgiveness, compassion, open-mindedness in the collective to new things. So we can see probably people like opening up to new things and new possibilities, and when it comes to their spiritual development as well. So the 7th house, for example, in astrology reflects one-to-one connections and relationships. And it is being ruled by the fairness-oriented Libra, which is being ruled by Venus, that is the planet of love. So it will make it possible for us to uplift ourselves and to uplift others as well. 2022 was more about polarity. It was represented by 222, so a triple polarity, and now that triple polarity, and from that triple polarity, there's a central path that is emerging. So there's much more centeredness. You can get more centered with yourself, more balanced. You can get to a more balanced place compared to where you were in 2022. There's a possibility for that, just because, as I said, the seventh house is ruled by Libra, and Libra is all about balance. 2023 is about the emergence of a collective consciousness, and that collective consciousness is being grouped by common principles that are validated in something more rational, like a spiritual science, for example, like rational spirituality, something more rational than the New Age spirituality was before. So we will see more open-mindedness and more interest in spirituality, but there will be a need for backing those spiritual principles with something rational. So this is what we will see emerging more and more in the year of 2023, moving away from that New Age bogus kind of material, and then trying to find a more rational side and more scientific side of spirituality. So spirituality will receive a more scientific nuance. So 2023 will be about harmony, as I said, between the conscious and the subconscious mind, the unconscious as well, developing awareness and a great possibility to expand the mind as well. So harmony between spirit and the mind, and whatever we receive from our intuition is being perfectly translated with our conscious mind. So kind of like that balance and that harmony. It will be about healing of relationships, solving very complicated matters of life, and then kind of solving life's puzzles as well, understanding the unknown, things that we didn't understand or didn't grasp before. And that automatically will bring with itself being able to motivate others into a deeper reflection as well. And then also solving complicated matters of our society, complicated events and problematic events as well. So it is all about reflection when it comes to yourself, and then you will be able to motivate others as well to do the same or to solve their own problems. And that will be beautiful. So there's a beautiful expansion in that sense, and more like a humanitarian side of us, a more compassionate side of us will start to unfold. So that will be the influence of number 7. So as I said, I wanted to talk about Pluto moving into Aquarius in 2023. So it is moving in Aquarius in March 2023 after being in Capricorn since 2008. So such a long time. And being in Capricorn since 2008 was kind of demolishing those structures that are being represented by Capricorn. Capricorn is a cardinal or activation archetype. And since Pluto has been in it, has been swinging the wrecking ball on systems, on structures, and consciousness as well that have outworn their utility. So Pluto has been doing that since 2008, and then we know that 2008 was about a financial crisis, and we are seeing that again repeating kind of. And Pluto is about demolishing things that are no longer working. So now is bringing an era to a close, but at the same time, so simultaneously, it is building a new era as well. It is building a new framework on which we can start anew, on which we can have different decisions, and then we are being influenced by different planetary events and then different consciousness as well. So there's a huge elevation in the human consciousness as we are moving into the age of Aquarius. Obviously, the age of Aquarius, as every single era, every single age that is lasting around 2000 years, is having its downsides as well. And it's dividing society most of the time into groups. One that is based on development and then evolution. So one path that is an evolutionary path, and then the other one that is a devolutionary path or degenerate path. And this is what we will be seeing as well in the age of Aquarius. So Pluto soon begins its 19-year cycle, and it will be journeying through Aquarius until 2044. Aquarius is a fixed male air archetype. And the age of Aquarius, it will be about speeding up this demolition, this tearing down of structures. It will be about shedding and restructuring. It's a process of restructuring, and this is what is beginning next year. We can say that we already moved into the age of Aquarius, but the biggest show and the biggest speeding up of events we will only see from next year, when Pluto is finally moving into Aquarius. So Pluto in Capricorn since 2008 was about too much consolidation of power at the top. And when Pluto is moving into Aquarius, what it's doing is correcting some of the excesses that happened with Pluto in Capricorn. So this is what we are seeing now, and we will be seeing in 2023 as well. And then again, like getting more intense in the years to come. The house of cards that was built, these big institutions, corporate structures will start to collapse more and more. They have been collapsing for some time, but we will be seeing much more of it. And then Aquarius is the planet of people. Pluto in Aquarius means also we the people. So I believe that humanity and the power of humanity and the empowerment of humanity will only start to be visible from 2023. So there are some great shows that are coming in that sense, and I cannot wait to see humanity really rising up and saying no to certain things, the manipulation, the authorities, and certain structures that started to collapse while Pluto was in Capricorn, or certain things that went to an extreme while Pluto was in Capricorn. So Pluto is the higher octave of Mars, we can say. Mars is about personal will, personal power, you know, the ambition, the assertiveness that we need when we want to go forward in life. And then Pluto is Mars multiplied. It's a higher octave of this energy. It's a collective will, not a personal will. It's a collective dimension of Mars. It's a sum of all the wills of all individuals, and that is making it very powerful. So Pluto is representing a life force itself. It is representing the power of nature. So when personal will, which is being represented by Mars, is aligned with the collective will, which is represented by Pluto, everything works perfectly and everything is fine. But when there's a misalignment in between personal will and then collective will, what always wins is the collective will. So collective will crush the personal will. It will crush the will of the individual. And that is why the energy of Pluto sometimes is making us to feel like we are powerless when it comes to the forces of nature. That we are at the mercy of powers that are much greater than us, the power of the collective, the power of the universe. So in that case, the only thing that we can do is to surrender to the process and to trust in these powers that are leading us where we need to be. However, Pluto also has this very interesting energy because it wants you to surrender, but it doesn't want you to go fully with the flow and to become passive to the events. What it wants for you to assert yourself, to stand up for yourself, to put on the fight when it's necessary, when it's needed. Do not avoid fight and conflict, but then also recognize and understand and know when you have to fight and when it's worth fighting and when it's not. When you have to really pull away and when you just have to be the observer. So Pluto is very interesting and very powerful. So Pluto eliminates what's rotten so it can build something new, and it can keep the engine of the universe going this way because it can replace things that are not working. So almost like in a system, when there are certain parts of the system that are no longer working or that are old, it will replace those parts of the system with the necessary parts, new parts and better parts that are more functional. And this is how it will provide and make space for a healthy growth. So growth is only ensured when certain things that are no longer working are being replaced. So what Pluto is doing in Aquarius is that it will expose some rotten parts of the system, and our society is a system. So it will expose rotten parts of our society. So society is being represented by Aquarius, and then that exposing energy is Pluto. So that will be the theme of 2023. So that exposure on a larger scale and in a more intense way will start in 2023, we can say. So because Aquarius is the sign of people, we will no longer have, like slowly, we will get rid of the big brother. Because with Pluto in Aquarius, people will start to have more power. And that particular power comes with responsibilities, and it comes with opportunities as well. So 2023 will be about taking much more responsibility for our own actions, for our own lives. And by doing that, we will see more opportunities arising as well. The collective will see opportunities where it hasn't seen before those opportunities, and will start asserting itself when it comes to getting those things that it wants. So we will see much more standing up. And it will not happen straight away, but then as we move forward these years, so the next 19 years, 20 years will be about the power of people. And I will be talking about the downloads that I received in regards to this as well a bit later. So in terms of humanity and where we are standing right now energetically, I tuned into the energies of the present moment. And if you remember that map of consciousness that I always refer to, and I refer to that in my previous video as well, so if you haven't watched that video, watch it. So when I tuned into the energies of humanity this year, or before this year, maybe last year as well, I got something quite low. So as the pandemic has started in 2020, the general level of consciousness of humanity has dropped drastically, and we were at the level of fear. And then slowly we moved out of those fear-based energies. And I think in February I checked the overall energies last time, and I think I made a video about different people, like well-known people and their level of consciousness as well. And I got something around 200, that humanity is at the level of courage right now. So in February, because we had, like Canada had the Freedom Convoy, and then there were some demonstrations against the regulations, the harsh rules of the pandemic, there was a standing up and there was an empowerment in the collective. And that was the moment when humanity's level of consciousness finally moved back to 200. So I checked it this time as well to see where we are standing right now, and I got 200. So we are still at that level of 200, but that is great because 200 is a turning point in the human consciousness. And then that is that point when finally the way we are viewing the world is based more on compassion and love. So it is more based on love than on fear. Below 200, all those levels are based on fear, and there's victimhood on those levels. So it's great that we are on the level of 200. And then I tuned into the energies of next year, and then where we will be standing next year in 2023. And I got that there's a high chance that humanity's level of consciousness will go up to 310, which is the level of willingness. So that is that level of trust. That is that level of optimism where the collective will find solutions to complicated societal matters. And obviously, like I kind of checked the next years, so the years to come after 2023, and then I got that humanity, like the level of consciousness of humanity will go up. And we will get more and more elevated. And that is because the individual, and there are many individuals that are already having their level of consciousness above 500. And because the difference between these levels is logarithmic, it is exponential, those individuals that are carrying the energy of love can hold millions of people that are on lower vibration. So these people can really neutralize the fear-based energies. And I'm very happy about that, and that is beautiful. All right, so let me get into the downloads and predictions that I received about next year. So I will start with investments and then the economy. What I got in terms of investments is that the best investment in 2023 will be gold, platinum, and properties. So they are the best investments in 2023. I also got that there's more truth that is coming out about the crypto frauds, because as we know, the FTX situation and the collapse of FTX, and then the cryptocurrencies, like certain cryptocurrencies, happened all of a sudden. So the whole thing just collapsed overnight, we can say, after these eclipses. So I believe that the eclipses triggered the collapse of these cryptocurrencies. And what I got, as I said, is that next year there will be more and more information that is coming out about cryptos and frauds related to cryptos. I also got that, because I was asking about Bitcoin, I got that there will be attempts to regulate Bitcoin as well in 2023. So I wouldn't say that it's a good investment to invest in crypto in 2023. I didn't get anything about silver this time, but I can say that gold and platinum are much better investments. This is how it seems like for me, and then properties as well. I was asking about nuclear weapons, and it's so interesting because I was asking last year as well, and what I got last year was that I'm not supposed to know. So I got the same answer this year. But what I received in terms of the war, the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine, is that the war will continue in 2023. So there's a high chance for it to continue. And there's a high chance also to get more concerning next year. So I'm just hoping that people are fine, and then the energies can shift anytime. But I believe that there are certain things that need to play out in those countries, and there are some karmic events that need to play out as well. But as I said, the energies can shift anytime, and then I hope, and yeah, we just need to send love frequencies and heart-based energies to these countries, and for the leaders of these countries to change their minds, and then to move from that, you know, ego-based energy to a more heart frequency. I was also asking about the economy and then the inflation and what is going on next year. And what I got is that inflation and prices are getting higher, unfortunately, in 2023. So even higher than this year. There's a high chance for that. And then the living cost continues to rise in 2023. And that is very upsetting. But I believe that this is that catalytic kind of event that can propel humanity to finally stand up for itself. So I would say that invest your money in whatever you can, like especially these precious metals. I also got that food shortages might be a concern, a bigger concern than they were this year. And then I also got that blackouts might be a probability in 2023. Interestingly, I got the same thing last year about the blackouts, but then the energies have shifted all of a sudden. I remember in January or February, something like that, and it wasn't as a big concern as it was seeming to be in the end. Also, I was asking about CBDC and what is going on with the introduction of it. And what I got is that, unfortunately, now there's a piloting of the CBDC in certain countries in the world. But next year, there are some countries that will adopt the CBDC and it will replace the fiat money. So there's a high chance for that. And these countries are in Europe and Asia. And I specifically got that there's a high chance for the CBDC to replace the fiat money in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, but I didn't get any country specifically in Europe or Asia. I can tune into the energies of that as well, maybe a little bit later on, but what I got strongly is that there's a high chance. But as I said, hopefully the energies will shift because there are many factors that can influence the whole thing. And what I got in my reading, to be fair, many times when I was checking the CBDC, is that things will not unfold as quickly as they want it to unfold. And they are having some difficulties in introducing fully the CBDC. So they will have some problems in many countries with that. In terms of migration, I got that it will be higher in the world than in 2022. And that can be because of some factors in the economy or prices, but that can be also because of some weather conditions. So that might be concerning, I would say. Migration might be starting to be concerning next year. And then I also got about the VR, so virtual reality, and the metaverse that are getting more popular and are becoming a concern in 2023 because more and more people will be interested in those things. In terms of alien invasion and fake alien invasion, I got that there will be some signs of this signs are appearing, so maybe the media will talk more and more about aliens and extraterrestrials and so on and so on, and that is paving the way towards, you know, this fake alien invasion, which is a wild card. So the existence of life on different planets and then aliens in general might become more official. There will be more talking about it. There's a high chance for that. I was asking about the liquids as well, obviously. And then we know that this year was about, and especially now towards the end, it was about sudden deaths and loads of injuries that were caused by the liquid. And I was asking about that, what is up with this situation and what can we expect next year? And I got that millions of injuries might be more and more evident. So there will be millions of people, unfortunately, that will find themselves injured. And then I got that hundreds of thousands of deaths might be a possibility next year as well. And when I was asking about this last year, I got the same information, that there's a chance for hundreds of thousands of people passing away in 2022. And I got the exact same information. And when it comes to injuries, as I said, like, we are talking about millions here. And among these injuries, the most prominent injuries are fertility issues, autoimmune diseases, and then cancer. So I don't even know what to say about this, because we kind of expected this coming. But yeah, I just hope that justice will start to be served in that sense. But I did many readings about this on Patreon as well, and then I got that even if it doesn't happen, like justice is not being served in 2023, in the years to come, we will see more lawsuits against these corporations and against smaller corporations as well, that were forcing their employees to take that experimental thing. So I was asking about properties, and then property prices are higher than in 2022, so they are going up apparently. And as a general overview about the year 2023 is that there's much more heart-based energy in the world than in 2022, but also more fear in general than in 2022. But as I said, those individuals that are working on themselves and are able to transmute and to transform their traumas are able to also access higher levels of consciousness. So those individuals with their heart-based frequency and their love-based frequency are the ones that are elevating the frequency level of the whole planet. So there's a massive spiritual awakening happening. This is what I got as well. And there are more and more people awakening, and even more than awakened in 2022. So that is beautiful, because on a collective level, we are experiencing something that we haven't experienced before. I also got that riots and demonstrations are increasing in 2023, and humanity will start standing up for itself more and more, and it becomes more and more empowered, so much more empowered than in 2022. We saw some demonstrations already this year as well, and we saw humanity coming together and cooperating finally, and then standing up against this tyrannical system. But I believe that from next year, we will see more and more of that. And that is making me extremely happy. Also, what I got is that the two paths of humanity, the synthetic and the organic one, and the difference between those two paths is becoming more and more highlighted and more evident. So that progressive impulse and that regressive impulse will become more and more highlighted, and it will become more and more evident as well which people and which groups are choosing the organic one and which ones are choosing the synthetic one. So we are really experiencing this fork in the road more and more. So yeah, this is what I'm seeing for 2023. I believe that there will be massive surprises, very big surprises, and I believe that we will see some manifestations of our collective that we haven't seen before. And some great surprises in that sense, some positive surprises. And I don't know, I'm getting the analogy that we didn't think that we were capable to achieve this, or to behave like this in these situations. And what I'm getting and what I'm feeling intuitively is also that we will be extremely proud of the human race. So we will have moments when we are like, oh, we are so ashamed of the human race, and because unfortunately, like a massive group will be very fear-based, more fear-based in 2023 than in 2022. However, on the other hand, there will be a lot of upgradation as well, like heart-based upgradation. And we will have moments when we will say that we are extremely proud of the human race and extremely proud of people as well that are around us. And we will see people awakening around us, sometimes in our immediate environment, that we did not expect at all to awaken. So yeah, 2023 is the year of big surprises. So guys, this is what I'm seeing about next year. I hope it resonated and helped. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. You can subscribe to my other channel as well, which is called Esoterica with Evelyn, where I'm sharing readings and collective readings as well, and readings by signs. So if you haven't subscribed there, please do it. If you want to support my channel, you can do it on Patreon. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do it, and you will find the link down below as well and information about how to do that. So guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support. Take care everybody, and I cannot wait to see you next time.